So what you'll probably need to do is, if I move over, you can come here.
Yes.
That way you can see the questions. And hey there, world. If you're watching already, good to see you. We're going to start properly in about 10 minutes. I'm going to mute ourselves for a little bit until then. Talk to you soon. Hi there, can you hear me? I'm just testing the audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going all the way to 6. We've unmuted ourselves to see whether the audio is working. 7 minutes till doors go live, and we're hoping that everybody's going to be in the room soon. Can you hear me? Am I speaking too loudly? Let me know. There we go. I'm going to mute myself again. Okay, I'm going to be speaking. I'm speaking now. Let me see if this is working. I'm just going to sing a song. Sing a song of sixpence, pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. Oh, when the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before a king? There we go. Was that working? I couldn't hear. Working, yes.
Oh, nice. Oh, your
So,
wife's watching. I don't believe my wife is watching yet.
no. So let's see. Yeah, I just started singing now. So there's a delay. Good. You can hear my delay.
Now, if you want, you can always get a little kid to come walk in behind the screen.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. Great. 5 minutes, 4 minutes and counting. So people could be popping into the room, but they won't. So if they've got the old version of the build, they'll be able to pop into the room, but the room won't show the stream because the old build doesn't have that tech in it. So the new build has a tech, and that means we don't have to worry about it until 8 o'clock sharp. Cool.
But it's live. But we're showing the live stream now.
Yeah, we're showing the live stream, but they're on the YouTube channel looking at the live stream. So we've got 4 people at the moment seeing us right now. Hey
Hello,
there,
4
you,
people seeing us.
yeah, you wonderful 4 people. And we'll see whether or not that goes up as the doors open. We're doing this on a Tuesday night because this is the first live stream that we're doing. We've streamed on the weekend. We opened a NASA Live video room where you could see NASA Live, the video channel that they have, 24/7.
Yep.
So that room is now permanently available in there with the stream going directly in.
Okay.
But that was from somebody else, not from us. What we're doing now is we're testing the live streaming direct from ourselves through the system.
No.
Very cool.
Okay. So what we've got here is a list of questions that we'll be asking.
Yes.
And we'll be going through. You should pick them as they sort of suit you. And you should just say, we've got a question from somebody asking, etc.,
Okay.
etc.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll get new questions. They might appear over here in the live chat, or we'll get them on Slack through this messaging system.
And I'll be able to see those somewhere.
Yeah, I'll pop them up if we see the notifications appear.
Nice. Oh, very cool.
So we've got people popping in, as you can see.
Nice.
A lot of users logging in right now, about 4 minutes.
And these are all VR users.
These are all VR users in the app, in VR, and they're getting ready to come in through the door.
But the door is still closed.
The door's still closed.
In a waiting room, basically. Right?
Yeah, so there's a lobby, which is the entrance hall, and we call it the planetarium lobby, which is the solar system. And in the sun, there's a door that you can go into the sun in, and inside the sun is a room, and that room is where we'll be demoing this.
Nice.
We can go look at it afterwards.
Okay.
And meet people in there, which is like say, okay, here I am. The reason we put it on the avatar head is because, of course, in the game I'm an avatar, so you'll be able to see my face on that avatar head. And now they're seeing a live video on the avatar head. Okay, we've got 2 minutes and counting.
Nice. Hey, Marvin, come turn off security on my computer because I don't like blipping on and off. I don't even know how to use this thing, honestly. I think it's under. I don't want it to. I don't do anything with it. It goes to the other screen.
It goes when it blinks.
Yeah, and I don't want it to have where I have to put a password in. So I'll take the password off. I mean, I should know how to do this, but I just don't like it.
Let's go screensaver.
Yeah, but I want the questions to stay up. I don't want the screensaver to come back every minute.
Cool. So we've got echo in, from what I can see. And we've got about 1 minute and counting.
Nice.
So we shall be live shortly. Chris, can you let me know when the room goes live and when people jump in so I know when to start? Welcome to our first Meet the Devs live stream, which I'm guessing is going to happen
a lot
now.
Okay, and then I don't want it to have a password, require a password.
Apply that. Settings do. What is the password? Cancel. Screen saver.
Oh, let's do this. I know IT cameras.
Okay, it's gone. So the door should now be open. People
Nice.
should be able to jump into the room, and we should see the view count increasing.
Nice.
So we're not going to start with the questions just yet because we're going to give people a little bit of time to show up in the room. Welcome.
Nice. Hello, everybody.
Hey, I hope you're able to see us. We've got the first ever Meet the Devs live stream direct here into Multiverse. Good to see you all down there. You.
And everybody.
And my name is Sam Shepard. This is Keith Wicker. We're here to do the interview and chat about stuff. If you've got questions, you should be able to see that there are developers and representatives in Multiverse. You can ask them a question. They have the ability to connect with us, talk to us, and get the questions out to us, and then we'll answer them. There is a slight delay, so you may not see everything happen exactly at the same time as it's really happening, but we're working on that. This is our first live stream, so there could well be glitches and hiccups. I apologize in advance if that's the case. And let's see.
Nice.
We are waiting for Chris, who is our CTO, who is inside the app in the room or in one of the rooms, checking things out, making sure that people are showing up, guiding them towards the live stream. And when he tells us that it's good to go, we will go. At the moment, we've been live for 12 minutes preparing. We're now 1 minute past, and I'm excited to start giving you answers.
What's our count?
At the moment, we can't tell exactly. We've got 7 people viewing, but we're waiting to see if that number goes up. And we shall see.
You have 7 people?
We have 7 people, yes.
Why not only see 4?
You only see 4?
Yes.
I see 7.
You see 7? I'm just a user.
I think it could be the way that we're streaming into the embedded video in the app could be different.
Okay.
So it could be 4 people on the YouTube page versus people inside the app.
Okay. So I'm looking at the YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that could be why. So yeah, we're watching ourselves in YouTube. We've had screenshots already sent to us of ourselves in VR on the big avatar. This avatar, and we're seeing how it's going. Yeah, there we go. And somebody's popped out already. Let's see what we got. Little message coming in here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to start talking in a few minutes. It's now 2 minutes past. We'll see when people really jump in. But I think we'll start with a couple of very simple questions
Yes.
because that will keep us going. So the first one, Keith.
Let's talk about the multiverse. Let's talk about what is the multiverse?
So the multiverse is our application that allows people to explore domains in VR. At the moment, there is only the one domain that you guys are in, which is the planetarium. And the planetarium domain is this amazing world of multiple rooms where you can explore everything from the rings of Jupiter, not Saturn, but in this case Jupiter, because we show them, even though they are very difficult to see in the real world, apart from through backlight scattering, I think is the technology that you use. Sending a probe behind it to see the rings. But you can see them in Multiverse. You can explore those. You could go and see the probes that have visited Saturn. You've got the Cassini probe. You've got the Juno probe. You've got the Galileo probe, one of the original ones.
Yeah.
And of course, then the future probes. So there are some being built that are going to be sent out soon. And we're going to be following those and updating you on those as we go. Multiverse is, at the moment, the planetarium, but it's also the homeroom. And the homeroom is the beginnings of where you'll start to see these changes. So at the moment, when you start the application, you land in the homeroom. From there, that homeroom, which is your safe space, the place where you can sort of start your exploration.
Yes.
You can move from there out into the bigger multiverse, and those domains and the number of domains that we'll be having will be increasing. The types of content that we'll be hosting will increase. And the goal is that at some point that we'll be in a situation where we can have more than the domains that we host, but actually let the domains open up to the users so that users can create their own content and have their own ability to create rooms and host social VR experiences. So I think our CTO, Chris, who's in the app right now with you guys, says that one of the best ways of explaining what we have right now is like the internet 0.01. So if you think about it in the sense that this could grow, and because it can grow at an exponential rate with your participation, we have the ability to let it go outside of just the planetarium, outside of the other domains that we imagine, and into domains that you guys create. So Multiverse is a place to explore VR domains together socially online.
Very cool. When do you think you might have some more coming out? Some more of the domains that you're building?
Yeah, so the domains, we can't tell you about those at the release dates yet, but we can talk about some of the rooms. And the rooms inside the planetarium that we've got at the moment, we've got nearly 40 rooms in the app. We launched the app just 2 weeks ago, and the launch of the app 2 weeks ago resulted in, I think it was 32 rooms live in the app.
Wow.
So we'd made 32 rooms, but now we've added in the last 2 weeks nearly 8 more rooms,
Yes.
and they're going more rooms are going live nearly daily. So this room is, I think, the newest room. We're going to be using this as a sort of fireside chat place to meet up with people, host these sorts of live streaming events, and make sure that we've got a place for people to sort of interact with the developers, talk to us about what they want, where they want to see Multiverse go, and what they want the product to turn into.
Okay.
The next room after this, I can't tell you exactly what is, but we are looking to try and get the ISS room up and running very soon. The ISS is going to be beautiful. So we want to have a life-size version of the ISS model in the app. We want to have people able to go and stand next to it on the outside of it over Earth while it's orbiting.
Wow.
And then see a live stream from the ISS in the room, so you can actually see what the ISS is seeing live in VR.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah. So there's a whole load of those sorts of things that we're heading towards. I can't tell you that will be the next room that opens,
Yes.
but we can talk about other rooms of that nature.
Oh, that's cool.
Another thing that we want to do is we want to start adding the mythology rooms. I don't know whether you've been around the app, but as you go around, you'll see areas where some of the doors are closed and it says coming soon. Some of the other closed doors have a countdown timer on.
Yes.
And the countdown timer is what gets exciting, because at that point, the room's been made and it's live and people can actually jump in and
Nice.
see that happen there in real time. So the idea is absolutely to be in a situation where new rooms are coming on a regular basis, where you'll start seeing more and more doors with the countdown timer.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, you can get excited about that. We'll be posting events into the Oculus channel to let people know when the rooms are going to be going live, and telling you, okay, there's a big event coming, which is the launch of a new room. Expect Multiverse to be changing on a weekly basis, but potentially even more regular than that.
Extremely cool. Extremely cool. Now, in reference to the planetarium domain, the difference between the multiverse and the planetarium domain.
Yes, so the multiverse is much bigger than the planetarium. At the moment, that's all there is. But the goal is that you should absolutely be able to walk in and choose which domain you want to go visit.
Okay.
So if you don't have any interest in astronomy, at the moment, the multiverse could seem a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Because, well, space is cool, but not everybody, it doesn't tick everybody's box. So we understand that, and we want to open up more domains. The sort of domains we've got in mind are vast and range from conversation domains where we can talk about the release of games, for example, VR app games. We're looking at the idea of having domains related, for example, dinosaurs. I'd love to do a Jurassic World domain.
So cool.
Yeah, and be able to go in and actually get eaten by a dinosaur, because that has got to be pretty much everybody's wish.
Why would you not?
Yeah. Eaten by a virtual dinosaur in real time. But yeah, there's a whole load of other things we've talked about. We've talked about domains that are related to the aquarium. So, for example, an aquarium domain would be a fantastic experience, being able to be down there with fish. But we've also got ideas for retail domains, or domains that relate to applications that people want to have on other stores, but they want to bring them into VR. But the cost of getting something in VR is expensive.
Yes.
And time consuming. It's not as easy to build and spin something up for VR as it is for mobile or web. So the idea behind Multiverse is to allow for that to happen, where we can have more domains spun up quickly and other people can take control of those domains.
That would be absolutely wonderful, actually.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions from people out there yet?
Not yet. I think we're still looking.
Very cool.
Looking at Count's gone down. It currently says 4, so I'm a little bit concerned that people are jumping in and out. But we've got a lot of people logging in. So the question is whether the people who are logging in are finding us.
Yes.
Or it could be that the counter on the YouTube channel isn't right, or isn't reflecting the actual stats.
So
Which would be interesting to see.
that would be something. How often do you think we're going to be doing our live streams, updating the?
So that's something we want to talk to you guys about. So we want feedback from the users. We want to understand what it is that you guys want us to be talking about. We could be doing anything from tech reviews and talking about how we built the technology, or what's going to be available from tech point of view for you guys to use to create your rooms with. Or we could be doing interviews with people from the astronomy area. So my idea would be to get some of the amazing friends that we've got in astronomy to come in and actually do interviews with us, where we could talk to them live and say, hey, questions from the audience in VR.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Potentially linked to an event that goes with, I don't know, a room opening, or maybe a new model. I mean, one of the things that we've got one of our artists working on is, of course, the SpaceX rockets.
Yeah.
Because these guys are launching so many rockets nearly all the time. I think the plan is to get 3 a day at some point.
All of a sudden, it's amazing how that ramped up so quickly.
Exactly. So I'm getting people in from these sort of areas and having these chats could be one area. Another one could be, I don't know, letting people host their own events. So if you're in there and you want to have an event in Multiverse, whether you want to have something related to astronomy or whether you want to have something else, tell us, because we can help you set that up and then give you access to live stream into VR.
Very cool. And so the last update, when did we update this last?
Yes, so we've got, the last update came out, I think we tried to hit Thursday, or was it Friday morning last week for the weekend. Because this weekend we launched the we launched the NASA Live room, where you could see the live stream from NASA TV, and that of course was a success. We had 250 people come in for that. We had peak concurrent users, more than ever before, so that was great. We had something stupid like, I don't know, 10 logins a minute at one point, so that was quite good. The great thing about that room is, of course, it's going to be live forever. So as long as NASA keeps streaming, that room will be there, and people will be able to go in and see what's going on at any given point. I think at the moment, we've got 3 schedules, live events this week related to the ISS, where we've got some people who will be leaving the ISS and traveling back to Earth on the Soyuz capsule. Nice. And they'll be streaming that live in that room, so we'll be able to go in and watch that happen.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then, so that tech that we did, which allowed for us to release that room, went live in the end of last week's build.
Okay.
You got kids here in the background. And of course that meant that you guys could get in there and see that. People seem to be jumping around between the rooms. Let's see.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about the rooms.
Yeah.
Why are some of the rooms empty?
Yes. So one of the things that happens in Multiverse is that people enter it, and sometimes they'll find themselves in an empty room, and they'll be thinking, what's going on? What's this? Where are everybody? But the reality is that the way that the tech works, we can host a limited number of people per room. And what that means is that we have to be cautious of saying, well, Multiverse is empty just because you're in an empty room. It could be that you're in one of the overflow rooms and you're the first person to fill that overflow room up.
Yes.
So in that scenario, you'd find yourself alone in a room. You'd be thinking, well, where is everybody? But in fact, they're in what we call, so those shards would then be places where you can see, for example, 12 people live in another shard.
Gotcha,
but that's hidden to you because you're in the overflow. What we do is we limit rooms to 8 people at the moment, and then we let friends join up to 12.
Okay.
So that means that if you are trying to find a friend, it's likely you'll be able to join their shard.
Yes.
Because it's limited, capped at 8. And then there's an extra 4 spaces for friends to join them. So you need to be aware of that, and you need to jump around between rooms. Sometimes targeting a specific person on your wrist menu will help you. So you can then fill up a room that's only got 8 or 9 people in it. You can join that room through your wrist menu. So that's one of the things to be aware of.
Well, very cool. And let's touch on the wrist menu.
Yeah.
If I want to find someone, if I can't find someone, and I want to find someone.
Yes. So the wrist menu has multiple functions for finding them. The core idea behind Future Tech Labs' idea of what the Multiverse is, it's about creating an application that is there for social interactions. We believe that people need to be the heart of technology,
Yes.
and therefore it is about interacting socially. And the future of tech is all that. We've seen it evolve from a personal computer at your home
Right.
to being something that's connected to the internet and suddenly explode into things like this, live streaming.
We've been
social.
waiting for so
Yeah,
long, right?
exactly.
The interaction.
So that idea is what we want to focus on. We want to focus on creating environments that are social, and the risk menu helps you do that in multiple ways. One is we show you rooms that are active where people are in, so you can use your risk menu to target a room and say, well, I want to go into this room because it looks like there's people in there. The other is the people's menu, and the people's menu just shows you people that are live in the app. So you could see that there's somebody you don't know, but they're tagged in the people's menu. Go to that room, try and sort of send them a wave, give them a thumbs up, see if they scamper away or whether they come closer. And if they come closer, then that's the sort of point you can start talking to people and sort of try to make friends. So learning that social etiquette is another big part of what's required for something like Multiverse. The other one is the friends menu. And the friends menu lets you see the people you've already tagged as friends.
Okay.
So it's important to understand, there's some other question on the list was from that. People who don't have a Facebook account attached to their Oculus device have a difficult time making friends. And we're aware of that problem. During the launch of the app, we saw a scenario where Oculus updated the way that the friends system worked. And we couldn't change the app to reflect that, but we're working on it in the background. We're working on solutions that will allow you to meet with and talk to people without having to be Facebook linked, because that's a silly limitation.
Yeah.
Not everybody. I mean, Facebook is good, but not everybody wants to be on Facebook, and that's fair enough. So allowing for that is important. The other thing is from the friends menu, you will be able to join your friend. So there is the join button, and the join button has two functions that you need to understand. The first is if you're not in the same room as somebody, then joining will take you to that room
Automatically.
Yeah. So you'll find that if they're in Multiverse and they're online, they'll be lit up. Once you click join on somebody that's lit up, you'll be taken to the room that they're in. But some of the Multiverse rooms are quite big. And it can be easy to get lost. So you're in a scenario where, let's say the solar system room is huge, or somebody's hiding behind the sun, you might not know where they are. And in that room, you've got to then be able to find them in the room. Clicking join again will take you to where they are in the room. So once you're in the room with them, the join button will take you used again. So it's a really key function. That works for people and friends. So both of those menus will allow that.
Hello.
Cool,
Cool. And real quick, on the subject of friends and meeting people, how do I host an event in the Multiverse if I want to host an event with my friends?
So Facebook have enabled a private event system. So you can actually create private events in the Multiverse, and the Multiverse will allow you to host them in your, for example, homeroom. So you can set up an event in the Oculus app and say, well, I'm going to invite my friends to the app. You set the event for a time and a place, and you give it a name and a description. You say, well, hang out with my friends and shoot rockets in the Multiverse, in my homeroom. You create that event, you send the invite out. When your friends accept it, they'll get notified when the event starts. And then you can join the event and actually meet with them in the homeroom. Friends are the only people that can join you in the homeroom at the moment, and that's what we want it to be.
It's a private room.
Private,
Exactly.
So within the Multiverse, it's your safe space. Only you and the people you've tagged as friends can join. And what that means is that you can sort of go there and have an event that doesn't have anything to do with astronomy or anything else. It's just a place to hang out with your friends.
Your friends virtually, in case you're in different locations.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's the whole purpose of this. It's such a neat concept that's now what we've always looked for, right?
It is. I mean, we built Multiverse over 3 years, but I've been traveling in different places around the world, and Chris, my CTO, and the other guys have been based in places like Guildford, Newcastle, Poland, Belarus. I'm now in France at the moment, and using Multiverse to connect to people across those domains is really cool. So
cool.
That's something we're looking forward to taking further.
And so if I want to explore my own copy of the Multiverse, you have the room, you want to explore it with your friends, how does that work?
Yeah, so at the moment you can't do that, but it's something that's on the list. We've had a lot of schools ask us about that. How is it possible to we call it Splinter, into your own version of the multiverse,
Yes.
and or splinter off a version of the multiverse. And that would be a great way for teachers to be able to get together and have a class go through the multiverse without worry about being disturbed by other people around them or interfered with. Of course, safety of children is paramount, so you've got to be aware of that sort of thing. And schools have to take care of their safety of their kids. So you've got to find a scenario where we can allow people to stay together, grouped. But could be bigger than a party. Parties, maybe a few people together. But we want to allow it to be up to 30 or 40 people, that could then have their own version of the multiverse. So that's on the list of future features that we're looking to add.
Well, very cool. And so, in talking about the different things we want to add to it, let's talk about developers in the multiverse. How do developers come into it?
So we appear in the multiverse regularly. We've got our little dev zone room that we tend to hang out in and meet people in, but we're also exploring the app, seeing what's happening, meeting with people, finding out what's going on. So you guys should look out for people with developer signs over their head or rep. We have representatives that also appear in the app, and they'll have the rep sign above their head. So the idea is, if you see one of these people, they're one of the friends of Multiverse, or they're one of the developers of Multiverse. You should feel free to come up and interact with them, talk to them, and discuss how you can make Multiverse better. What is it you can do, or what is it that you want them to add?
Yes, and that was the next feed. How do you do the feedback?
So at the moment we've got multiple avenues. The best is simply find us in Multiverse, because we do hang out there a lot. We test things live. We even find people sometimes jump into rooms that we're live testing, and we have forgot to lock down. And we'll be sitting there,
which is cool.
Doing something completely crazy, like throwing a rocket at 0G to try and knock down pins in a 0G bowling room that we're creating or something like that. And we'll have one of the live users pop in with us. And that's great, because we can talk about what we're doing, we can interact with them.
That's so cool.
And have that relationship with them. So that's one of the best ways. The other way is, of course, our Facebook channel and our Twitter feed, and of course YouTube. You guys are welcome to follow us on YouTube. You're welcome to send us messages on Twitter. We post a lot there on Facebook as well. So feel free to contact us or send us an email. Our webpage is ftl.ltd. And if you send anything to feedback@ftl.ltd, we'll get it, we'll respond to it. And we create a list of things that users want. We plow through them.
Nice, very cool. Going back to Planetarium, we talked about that in the very beginning. Was it made by astrophysicists and astronomers and scientists?
No. We made the multiverse ourselves, and although we think we're clever, we're probably not. We built the multiverse ourselves. I've created the majority of the rooms, so when you're in those rooms, you can blame me if something goes wrong. I've written most of the text that you'll hear when you press the VO buttons and do the voiceover. When there's a mistake, a spelling mistake, or a grammatical mistake, or just a bad pronunciation that happens, you can blame me. But no, the app is definitely being built by people with a passion for astronomy. I myself have created the augmented reality and also virtual reality stargazing app, Star Chart.
Yes.
And I've been doing that for a decade.
It's a great app too. If you haven't seen Star Chart,
go get it.
Yeah, get that app.
But that app has something I've been developing for a decade. So during the creation of that, I've had a lot of interest in learning a lot about. Somebody says there's a question. I'm just getting notified.
Yes.
No, not seeing it. I'm gonna have a look now. Looking now. How can we create rooms and create tools for those rooms to present to businesses and users? Good question. That's a hardcore question.
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, thank you. Whoever you were that asked that's a good question. I'll get back to that in a second. I'm just gonna finish on the astronomers one. So the astronomy thing, we're not astronomers, but we're passionate about astrophysics and science and astronomy. We brought a lot of that passion to Multiverse. Hopefully you'll appreciate it. But there's a chance there could be one or two minor errors somewhere in the app. You're welcome to call them out and give us a shout if you find them. So to answer the question, how can I create rooms? So at the moment you can't create rooms, but we are going to be opening up the tools and the technology that will allow you to do that soon. It's high on our list of priorities. And it's something that Chris and I have been talking about for years. Our dream is to let Multiverse fall out of the hands of ourselves into the hands of everybody else. But to get there, we have to, of course, have tools that work. we have to have gone through the painful process of making sure that all of the kinks have been worked out, and that you guys don't end up with something that breaks. When we end up with something that breaks, we can deal with it.
Absolutely.
I can go and hit Chris. I can fly over to him, hit him on the head, and say, Chris, that doesn't work. Fix it. But of course, when it goes public, we need to have it much more stable. It needs to be more robust, proven, tested.
So it's getting there.
It's getting there,
Yeah.
and we're feeling more and more confident. I mean, one of the key things that we're doing is, while we're building and expanding on the planetarium domain and multiverse, we're doing so only with the intention of making it cooler, so that when people make rooms, they will have access to that tech. So, for example, the live streaming, we didn't have this live streaming in just so that we could be big in VR on a big avatar and feel cool. We feel cool doing it, but we did it because we feel that live streaming is a core part of the future of everything. I mean, it's come into Facebook, it's come onto YouTube, it's everywhere you go. People say, I want to live stream this. And we feel that that's a core piece of tech that needs to be there for the application, and therefore it's important that it's integrated. That's why we made these rooms. It's the same with the NASA video lobby that we created recently. We put all of those videos in from NASA. They're great videos. NASA makes amazing videos. Of course, teach you about space. Yes, exactly. The best, biggest funded institution for astronomy in the world, which is fantastic. But having access to being able to play back videos is, of course, extremely important. Proving that tech and proving that we can get them from locations like YouTube and things like that is key, because that's how users are going to use them. So creating the tools for those rooms to present to businesses and end users. We're working with you. We need you to talk to us. Those of you that want to do this, please get in touch. I mean, that's all we're here for. We want to make great educational planetarium. Yes, that's true. But we also want to talk to you guys about making your own versions of domains and rooms and hosting your own events like this inside Multiverse.
And that goes back to what you said earlier about the developer badges. We see them in there.
Yeah, make sure you talk to us.
Yes, and then
send us emails. Exactly.
Any more questions we have?
Not yet. Let's see.
Let's talk about this. Sometimes the room changes without the app.
Yeah. So you may have noticed that the app gets updated probably once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. That's our goal. We're looking to get to a place where the app is updated. I think we're saying Tuesdays is going to be our cadence day.
Okay.
We say, let's make sure the app updates on Tuesdays. That gives us time to fix any bugs that might occur during the week, and then be ready for the weekend, which is, of course, when we see most people come in. But the app doesn't need to update for rooms to change. And that's one of the key pieces of technology that we've been developing. And one of the reasons why we're so excited by it is the app itself is just a little bit like a Chrome browser. When you get Chrome, you don't need to update Chrome to get an update of the web page. The web page can update separately. Because the user or the developer uploads an update to the server. That allows people to then see that update. Immediately without Chrome updating. It's pretty much the same technology here. So we will have to update the application when we make new feature enhancements. So we'll add new features. But to have a new room, we can simply open the door. It's like this this room that you're in now, the live stream room, that was created and done in half a day. I think it was today, at last minute, in a mad rush.
Kind of. It was prepared for this. It was an event, if you will.
So we scheduled the event. We decided, now let's make it a live stream rather than just a meet up with devs. So we created the live stream room. We did that in a day. We put in the tech for the live stream last week, and we're making and viewing the room now. And the room went live at exactly 7 p.m. GMT. Due to the fact that's how the tech works. We can tag a room to go live at a time. The room goes live, and then you guys can join us. So it's important to understand that Multiverse will change. If you don't see the app update, it could still be that there's new updates for you to experience in the app, new rooms for you to go visit.
Let's talk about this one. Will the room updates need an app update? You kind of touched on that already.
Yeah, exactly. No,
so it doesn't.
So
just to clarify that.
It doesn't. Basically, no. Room updates do not require the app to be updated. However, if you're on an old version of the app, you won't be seeing this stream. So because the tech has only been added last week. So if you haven't updated your app, if you know your friends haven't, or they're looking at the screen and they can't see anything, then tell them, go update the app and come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
So how would I create my own domain? Let's talk about creating your own
domain. So creating your own domain, at the moment, we need to be locked down and cautious on that. We can't just let them go wild and people create crazy domains with crazy things in there. But the goal will be that we will let you create your own domain, take ownership of the domain, and then actually be able to run and own your own domain within Multiverse, being able to customize anything from the avatars that people have when they're in the domain.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you go and let's say Keith has Keith domain, which would be a pretty cool domain, I think. But let's say you wanted to make sure that when everybody showed up, they were all dressed as, I don't know what.
Skiers.
Yeah, skiers. There we go, skiers.
Yes.
He wants everybody to be a skier. So then he could create a domain that had people appear as skiers or their avatars changed specifically for that domain. And that sort of concept, even the wrist menu can change for a domain, or the type of rooms and the style of rooms. The rooms, pretty much all the rooms you've seen in the app are curved, and they've got a generated system for creating these rooms from XML that creates curved, beautiful rooms.
Mhm.
And that's been done in cooperation with a architect in Poland, Marcin, who we're going to call out and say, thank you, Marcin, for your work. And the Marcin architecture, he didn't design each of the rooms, but he designed the core idea of how a room works.
Okay.
And then Chris built the procedural generation tech that generates the room to that style.
Okay.
So all the rooms in the planetarium are curved rooms that have these beautiful organic curves, and of course they reflect the parabola, the orbits of the planets, or
Yes.
the shapes of the planets that are in there. But another domain might have a different generation tech
That's
behind it.
customizable.
That is customizable, and that means that the same XML appearing in a different domain might look completely different.
Yes.
So those sorts of things are things that we're going to be enabling. Yay, good job. Thank you, goats. Didn't see that, but yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, you too.
We appreciate you guys being out here.
Yeah.
Profile picture.
Yes. So one of the big questions we get from everybody is, how do I change my profile picture? The profile picture that you get inside the app is one that's been given to us from Oculus. So if you change your Oculus avatar, that will propagate through to us. The next time you launch the app, we get that sent to us, and that avatar image appears in the face of the avatar that you've got. That way, most people have avatars that we've been assigned or have been assigned to them because you haven't updated your avatar image. So you'll get a cute teddy bear, or a cute chicken, or a cute deer, or something like that.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of them running around. It makes the game or the app look quite cute. But the idea is that you should be able to change that yourself. So if you want to have an avatar image that reflects you, or reflects who you are, or who you feel you are, or one of your favorite characters from a game or something, you can customize that yourself. On the app, actually, I think I'll open it up and show you, because it's a big question that we get a lot of time.
And then the next one also, the avatar color.
Yes, the avatar color.
Yes.
That's a big one. But yeah, on the Oculus app, there is a settings button. In the settings menu, you at the very top have a sorry, I'm getting distracted by a notification on my phone. Modern technology for you. Yes, you've got the ability to select your avatar in your account on the Oculus, and there, it's not loading for me at the moment. That's because I've got airplane mode on, so I don't get distracted by dings. Silly me. Yeah, so the I'll wait for that to load. But basically, at the top of your settings menu in the Oculus app, you can tap on your avatar face or the icon, and you can then upload or select an image. And that allows you to change the avatar face, which will then appear next time you come into the app. Regarding the color, we're working on that. If you see Chris in the app, go up to him and say, "We want to change our colors, Chris. It's an awesome app. We need you to change the colors." We have a lot of people asking to change the colors. At the moment, what happens is you get assigned a random color at start, which is whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's cool. But yeah, we know people want to be able to change their avatar color. We also know you want to be able to change and add stuff to your avatar. Let us know the sort of things you want to see, the colors, the changes, the shapes, and we'll update you
And
on the progress.
Yeah, the whole purpose of all these things is to get the feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Multiverse has been developed by primarily Chris and myself, with the help of Ollie and Michael, and people who brought in like Marcin. Got to not forget, of course, Konstantin, who's done all of our art. We've got Daryl, who did the 2D UI. We built this app, and it's our app. But now that we've released it, it's your app. And the key thing is to remember that we're here to create the app that will allow you to make what you want to have in Multiverse, and it's there for you to define. And the only way that you can define it is by talking to us and telling us what you want. So do that. Tell us what you want. Send us messages.
Toys. Can we get more toys in the
Yeah,
multiverse?
more toys. Loads of toys. We're working on them. There's some great ideas for toys. We've actually got a couple that we've got in R&D phase at the moment. So the key toy that I'm going to talk about now that Chris nixed just before launch was a remote controlled rover. So you could drop a rover down the floor,
Yeah.
and then you could point, and it would follow where you pointed.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it was sort of like a cat that would
Yeah.
chase the laser. We had a lot of fun with that. There were a couple of bugs in how it worked. So we didn't launch it with the first QA pass
Yeah.
we did with Oculus. But that and other toys like that
Mhm.
are on the list to come soon. Personally, I want a boomerang. I don't know why.
Oh, that's cool.
I just want a boomerang.
That's
I want to
cool.
be able to sing the boomerang song. My boomerang won't come back. My boomerang won't come back. I wave the thing all over the place. Practice time, black and blue in the face. I'm a big disgrace. My boomerang won't come back. Anyway, yes, I've done the singing. I can shut up now.
No. No, what about, can we get some games
Yes.
in the multiverse?
So games is another thing. A lot of people show up and ask for games. Of course, the planetarium is a place to learn about astronomy, but it's also a place to have fun.
Okay.
We see people throwing the satellites into orbit. We see people, playing with things at that level,
Mhm.
and they want to take that fun. That's absolutely on the cards. We're working on it. Give us your ideas. The more ideas we get, maybe the more inspired we get. One of them will jump higher up the queue to the top and get at it. I think earlier in the chat, I mentioned the fact that we're doing a what's it called? Zero-G bowling.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we tested that out. There's some serious physics issues there. The room goes crazy and things explode all over the place.
Too
But
bad.
it's fun. It's fun to be in there. It doesn't allow you to do a lot of bowling, but it does allow you to have a lot of fun. But yeah, we're looking to add things like that. I think the next one that we're going to be practicing or doing tests on is zero-G basketball, because that could also be a lot of fun. And then I guess what Chris was calling a bunch of schoolyard playground games.
Oh, yeah.
You know, giving people the ability to allow them to make their own games,
That'd be
so that you don't have to just have games that are scripted.
Yeah.
But it's sort of more open world. Come in, play, choose how you want to do it yourself.
That's neat.
Yeah. So use the toys in a way that work for you.
So how long, kind of a big question here.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make the multiverse?
So the multiverse has been in development for 3 years, and the tech behind Multiverse is called Shape VR. You can read about that in the or learn about that in the developer zone. But Shape VR started 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago now, where Chris and I sat down, had a drink together, and said, "What should we do?" And we said we could make a game, or we could do something crazy. And Chris looked at me and said, "Well, let's do something crazy." I said, "Okay, well, what's the craziest thing we can think of?" And he said, "Well, we could make the VR internet." And I said, "That's pretty crazy. Are you sure we can do that?" And he said, "I think we could do it." So I said, "Well, let's start." And with that in mind, we started developing the core idea of how you would, and there's lots of apps that are working towards the VR internet. We're not unique in that. We appreciate that. But a lot of the apps are doing it in different ways. So, for example, VR Chat, which is a great application. Love it. But we feel slightly messy because people are uploading their own content, they're putting it up there, but without the structure that comes from, for example, our XML, it gets a little bit messy. You find yourself wandering around a little bit lost, looking at some cool art or getting a cool avatar, but not really knowing where to go with that.
Yeah.
We felt that was great, but had a high barrier to entry. You need to know how to be able to make 3D art
Exactly.
to be able to create a room, and that was space in VR Chat, which is some amazing spaces in there. You guys rock at VR Chat. But yeah, we wanted to make it simpler. And looking at how some of the most successful web pages work, something like Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube or even Instagram, they're all very structured. So the structures exist and people post content to it.
Yes.
And that allows for this huge explosion of content because you don't need to know, you don't know how to take a photo, but then Instagram helps you make it look good.
Yes.
And then they format it for you and put it on the page for you. It looks
Yes.
good. And they have the layout of the CSS for the page to make it look good. And LinkedIn does the same thing. It takes everybody is as well. You might not know how to make a CV, but we've made one for you. All you have to do is fill in these boxes.
Yes.
And I think that concept is where we wanted to go. We don't want to be that rigid, but we do want to allow people to create spaces through XML that format themselves. And if you want to create your own room because you've got 3D skills, well, you can, and you can load that up as part of the room. But if you don't, you can lay it out. And then ultimately, the final goal is to have people create content in the rooms on the fly. Grab a picture from the wall, pull it out, put it somewhere else, and actually have it work without needing any code skills whatsoever.
That's cool.
So yeah, those are the goals we've got, and where we're going to go with that.
User friendly.
Yeah.
Smooth movement.
Yes, smooth movement. It turns out that was probably our biggest mistake at launch. We didn't have smooth movement in there. We decided that we were going to make an app that was good to the majority of people. Oh, sorry, I've just been told to be expecting an email. I'm just going to go in and check. My email's turned off, so I'm opening up the app in the background. Yeah, we wanted to make smooth movement. Smooth movement has the problem that some people throw up in VR, and by adding smooth movement, you increase the chance that somebody might vomit. So by removing smooth movement, you're in a situation where you don't have to worry about people throwing up. And one of the worst things you can have in your app is it causes nausea. However, upon launch, we realized that there are a lot of people who don't feel nauseous when they have smooth movement. A lot of people complained about the fact that we didn't have smooth movement in. And they actually stated that they felt more nauseous with our interpretation. Yeah.
Okay.
So even though it's considered the standard safe way of having movement, it doesn't work for them. So we updated the app within a week and had smooth movement in. So that's in there now. You can access it on your wrist menu. Yeah, you go into the settings and then you can toggle on smooth movement, strafing, so you can move left or right with the thumbstick without turning, and also smooth turning, because all of these things are stepped. And with those toggles, you can smoothly move in any direction.
Very cool. How's your email open up?
Yeah, my email. Let me check.
Do you have anything in Excuse me.
There we go. Waiting for it to pop out, but not yet got the email. So I'll check.
And we can talk about your support for other programs on your.
So other platforms, we at the moment support Oculus and the Quest and the Rift. We've had people obviously ask about other Oculus platforms like the Go and the Gear VR. And those are absolutely on the list of things we would like to support. But Multiverse is targeting the future, not the past. So they're not going to be prioritized just yet. However, other platforms like HTC's Vive and some of the other VR platforms out there are on the list, and we will be coming to those over time. We want to make sure that we tailor the app well to each of those devices. So we don't want to be in a situation where something breaks and or is done sloppily. We believe it's important to make it slick, smooth in each scenario. So you can expect them to come to other platforms, but don't hold your breath this week. We're still polishing those. So yeah, they'll come. And if we can get it down to Go, Gear VR, we will. But no promises yet on when or when or if.
Very cool.
Is that it? I think we've gone through most of the questions.
A lot of the questions we had.
I'm going to see if we've got the email. Let me see. And here we go. There we go. Not got an email yet, so I'm waiting for one from, who was it? Let's see. VR Sumo. VR Sumo, we're waiting for your email. We haven't got it yet. We are patiently hoping it will come through.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So what we're going to do is give it another couple of minutes for that email to come through, and then we're going to finish off. We're 43 minutes in. I think we've been live streaming nonstop, which was better than we expected. We were fearing it would break halfway through. But yeah, we've had 43 minutes of live stream, actually 54 before it opened up. And
yeah.
Let's see, anything else? No, that's it. Chris is saying maybe we shouldn't be expecting a VR Sumo email anyway, or it's gone somewhere else. There's a miscommunication. I think that I'm done. My voice is dead. I've talked myself to death, and we've exhausted the list of questions we've got in advance. Give us a shout, send us an email, meet us in the app. Looking forward to seeing you around. Actually, the room numbers just jumped up right at the end. And we're seeing the numbers climb. But if you are there, I'm going to be jumping into VR soon, so you can catch me there. And any last questions? Wendy, Chris? I'm seeing the numbers climb. I can imagine something might. Don't mind repeating myself if need be. No, I think we're good. Okay. See you guys online soon. And thanks for today. Thank you. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.